Let's solve this equation, negative 5x minus one group of 3x plus 1 equals 7. This one's a little bit harder to come up with a reasonable answer. So let's draw our hanger and see if we can come up with a solution, and then we'll solve it. We have negative 5x. Then I have the opposite of one group of 3x plus 1. Let me just show you what one group of 3x plus 1 would look like. But I don't have one group of 3x plus 1. I have the opposite of one group of 3x plus 1. So that would be the opposite of 3x, which would be negative 3x, and the opposite of 1, which would be negative 1, equals 7. All right, so it looks like I've got some like terms that I need to combine. So it looks like this will be negative 8x minus 1 equals 7. We just redraw that. So let's figure out where negative 8x minus 1 equals 7 comes from. All right, so when we solve these multi-step equations, we also need to follow the order of operations. So it looks like I have some multiplication that I need to take care of. This means the opposite of one group of negative 3x plus 1. So I know there's not a 1 there, but really we're multiplying negative 1 times 3x, negative 1 times positive 1. Or taking the opposite of 3x, which is negative 3x, and the opposite of 1, which is negative 1. We've got negative 5x. Let's just bring it down. It is not involved in taking the opposite. All right, so now we've got like terms we need to combine. Negative 5x minus 3x is negative 8x. Minus 1 equals 7. That's exactly what we've got here. All right, so now let's balance our hanger. Remember, our whole goal is to isolate x to find the value of x. So how can I get rid of this negative 1? How can I make it 0? Well, that means I need to add 1. And if I add 1 to the left side, I better add 1 to the right side. So that means negative 8x is going to equal 8. So what did I do mathematically? I added 1 to the left side, I added 1 to the right side. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. 7 plus 1 is 8. Beautiful. All right, so this box here needs to have a value of 8. So negative 8 times what number equals positive 8? Well, it has to equal negative 1 to have a value of 8. So let's show this over here. X equals negative 1. How did I isolate x? What happened to the negative 8? I divided by negative 8. If I have negative 8 x's that I want to split 8 ways, that means I need to divide negative 8 on both sides. So negative divided by negative is positive 1x. 8 divided by negative 8 is negative 1. Let's check our work. I had a lot of different answers on this equation. Always check your work. Like we did in number 2, we can usually prove that if our answer is correct or incorrect. And please follow me on this check. All right. Substitute negative 1 in for x. Follow the order of operations. Parentheses. I have operations inside that parentheses, so I need to multiply 3 times negative 1. Copy the problem down just as is. Again, follow order of operations. We need to take care of our parentheses and negative, whoops, I forgot to substitute negative 1 in here for x. All right, so the opposite of negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Let's go ahead and multiply here. Negative 5 times negative 1 is 5. Minus negative 2 equals 7. And 5 plus 2 equals 7. Again, 7 is not the solution. We are checking to see if we have a balanced equation. So when x is -1, the left side has a weight of 7, and the right side has a weight of 7. So we are correct. X equals -1. I think I said -2, but I meant x equals -1.